Good morning, good evening, and good night, whenever you're seeing this. This is the old school Grease notes. These are the ones I'm going to use for Google Classroom. Usually we have 12 vocab. I narrowed it down to 7. When all is done, I can put this as a PDF, so you can look at it as like a picture. I can make this a picture on Google Classroom if you want it later. If not, go ahead and write it down. I even have a couple pictures. So this is your Greece vocab. First one, a polis is Greek for city-state. Because they were not one country yet, really. Each city was its own thing. Because remember, Greece is very small. So like we are all states. But if I go to a faraway place, they'll ask me, "Are you American?" I said, "Yeah." But then I'll say I'm Californian, so they know which section, and they have their own ideas. And because Californians are different than someone from, say, North Dakota. We have a different lifestyle. So they had theirs. They had a polis. Number 2, democracy. Democracy is any government where the citizens have a say, usually in the form of a vote. We're going to talk more about Sparta later. Don't watch the movie yet. You're not ready. A diarchy. 2 kings. And the only reason we're going to mention it is because we will talk about Sparta, and they had 2 kings. Phalanx. If I can find a video, I will totally post it. This is a really cool system. It's a military formation. So when you're in battle, you have these big, long shields that are almost as tall as you. They're kind of shaped like that. And when you walk, you're taller than it. You can walk, but you can scrunch down. So I'm going to have him kneeling a little bit. You can scrunch. I'm making him spider. They can be behind it. And a phalanx just means that they would lock shields together when they march so that the arrows couldn't get in between them. They'd have to go over. That is the weirdest picture I have drawn for any kind of notes. Turn him into a spider. Love it. All right. Next is a myth. A myth that tries to explain why the world is that way. One of their myths is that where we get fire, a myth to tell you what's going on. They would do stories about why we have seasons. And in my house, I have a statue of Persephone because it's a family heirloom, not because I believe in Persephone. But she was a story that her mother was in charge of the weather. So she was happy. And then we've got sunshine and spring and summer. And when Mama is sad, we get... Wish I had my blue pen. We get rain. This is my really bad snowflake. And the reason why she was sad is Persephone was stolen by Hades, the god of the underworld. And for 6 months, she lived in Hades, and for 6 months, she lived with her mom. So that is the myth, telling people why they have the season. So if it was a late spring, she's still with Hades. Or if it's an early spring, she escaped from Hades, and vice versa. All right. Number 6, an oligarchy. Something you should